How does or can a Siddha perceive others?
First of all, what do you imply to the word Siddha? Siddha means perfect being. It is not an individual person or an individual consciousness, although it sometimes may appear as such. Siddha is the being. It's the evolved intelligence which perfects the transitory elements of the being, which is the physical body. So if it's a Siddha being in a physical body, the body will be eventually through this spiritual path or journey perfected. So how does Siddha perceive? The Siddha means it's the ultimate being with the highly evolved intelligence. And highly evolved intelligence is relevant for the physical realm. Because if we talked about something which is of a realm beyond the physical, something that is totally irrelevant, why would we even talk about it here now? So Siddha being in the context of our current evolution, it's something beyond. It's the actual ultimate but intelligent being. In Siddha Yoga and in the spiritual path of the Orient, it's considered to be a perfect being, but a perfect being is not having a physical form, but it can dwell in the physical form. Siddha beings can dwell in different forms. The being which has realized that it's being through the physical form and who is aware of other subtleties of one's being. The Siddha being is that being which is helping an individual consciousness evolve. So you cannot put it in a box. A true enlightened Siddha being, which has a very slight sense of individuality, will have a subtle, radiant light body being that can dwell in any body or can experience reality beyond the physical. Now, the physical means the realm of individuation or division. But the Siddha being is there at all times in all the beings. So if some individual, subtle, refined being, which we can call a Siddha being, can perceive everything through any body, and it can also dwell in different bodies. If, let's say, an evolved human being turned into a Siddha being, what does it mean? It means they refined to the degree, they matured their subtle being, but they still retain a subtle individuation which can help them to maintain their life on this physical realm. Yet this life will not be equal to the same life of a limited human being, which is limited by one form. Physical being, Siddha being is not limited by the realm of one form and can dwell in any forms, either through someone's consciousness or by being in different bodies or taking on different bodies. So, it's first of all, it's a being and intelligence, but intelligence which is not corrupt. That's what's called Siddha being. It's a perfect being. It's an intelligence that is in alignment with the creation. And creation is not only what you see on the physical realm. Creation is so much more. The waves, resonance, radiation. This is all the sciences that we are not aware of at this point of time. So how Siddha being perceives? Siddha being does not perceive, Siddha being is. And if Siddha being can be in any body, it can perceive all or anybody's emotions, thoughts, corruption, as well as the self. So Siddha being perceives the self through all the beings and can perceive also and see the corruption of all the beings. So it's the same like higher being. Higher being is there all the time within each and every element of creation. But whether that element is aware of that or not will make sense or will make difference. Siddha being in potentiality can be in every being. But the limited consciousness and its obscurity does not allow the individual mind consciousness to perceive that Siddha being within the self. And so it doesn't reflect on their body. And so their body does not have this inexhaustible connection, which is the connection with the higher consciousness, with the higher being, with the Siddha being. That is inexhaustible in terms of physical reality. But all these values that matter to a limited, obscure, physical human being who is not evolved, all these things, they do not matter to the Siddha being. All these divisions into good, bad, this, that, they do not matter. They only matter to the individual being who is experiencing them. Now, Siddha being does not experience anything which is in division, yet it is able to perceive everything as a flow of one's being through multiple bodies, through multiple consciousness, limited consciousnesses.